Hey everybody, it's Miss Krampitz, and I'm recording for Lunch Bunch since we're missing this week due to fifth grade camp and Penguin Patch. So just to let you know that this is the recording for my fifth grade Lunch Bunch. If you're in fourth grade, we've already read this chapter and you need to go to the next video. All right, so fifth grade, just a little recap of what's happening. We are in chapter 6, narrated by Jack. On the last chapter, Jack and his friend Press took the sailboats when they weren't supposed to out onto the lake, and they went over to the woods that are across from the school, across the lake, and they decided to set off some of those little snap-it firecrackers that aren't supposed to actually light anything on fire. But something happens. They smell a funny smell, and suddenly the whole forest is up in flames. They safely escape on the boat, and then Jack has to call his dad and let him know, and his dad says he's going to take care of it. So that's where we're picking up after the fire of Lakeview Woods, and Jack arrives home. Chapter 6. Jack. I don't want to go home. Dad isn't going to yell. It'll be so much worse. He'll stare at me and clench his jaw and say almost nothing. His anger is like a sticky web, an invisible trap that stretches far. I can already feel myself starting to shrink as Prez and I trudge through campus, across the lower soccer field, and down the short path through the woods that cuts directly to our houses. When we get to my back gate, there's a boulder-sized ball of dread in my stomach. I look at Press. Keep your mouth. I pause. Keep your whole face shut. He puts his fist out. I let it hang there for a few seconds. I'm serious, dude, I say. I know. I won't tell. I swear, he says back. Long vowels, no letter R. I bump his fist. As soon as Press heads home, my stomach starts to churn. I stall and pick up the second to last rock at the right of the gate because I'm not ready to face Dad. The words slow win is carved into the bottom of the rock. It's an anagram for an important name in our family. Every door has a secret password. There are a lot of houses and a lot of doors, so just in case I forget the code, the anagram is a reminder. I think my parents should just change the codes to a PIN number, but the rocks with hidden words are hunt traditions, and we don't break tradition. I enter my mom's given name, Winslow, and push open the gate. So I hope you guys can see there that an anagram is when you take the letters of a couple of words and you can transform them into a new word. We'll have more anagrams like that in the chapter. In the backyard, I take my time walking slowly around the closed-up pool, following another rocky path to the side door, past another hidden anagram that says, Nag Mink. Can you guys guess what the word is going to be? Rearrange the letters and you get my grandfather's name, Kingman. I slowly enter the code and step inside. Useless, Dad's voice booms. The door slams. There's a crash, his phone hitting the floor. Charles, it's Mom. Everything okay? No, the word echoes. I wince. Guilt is clawing at me. He's mad because of me. I need to find Mom. I drop my sailing bag, leave my boots, and walk quickly through the foyer, which, thanks to the enormous crystal chandelier hanging from the ceiling, always seems to shine bright. I hurry through two formal living rooms in the front of the house. Mom is by herself in the dining room, at the far end of the long table, by the painting of an old dude that Ford calls original ancestor, arranging 3 place settings for dinner. She's dressed up in her big pearls. When she turns to me, her eyes look tired, and the color is drained from her face. She smiles warmly, and she's so good at pretending that I almost can't tell her expression is forced. How was your day, sweetheart? She asks, in the same calm voice that always puts me at ease. Mom is acting like she has no idea I started a fire. And I guess Dad doesn't always tell her when there's a problem. I guess that means I'm supposed to act like everything is fine too. Not that great. I line up the last set of silver forks and knives, arranging them in order around the plate. I know I need to say something to explain myself, but there's a lump forming in my throat again. It was gusty out there. I pick at my nails. Mom reaches over and pats my back. I bet you sailed better than you think today. My hands instantly relax and fall to my sides. Thanks. Something about the way Mom just believes in me because I'm me is reassuring. Do you want help with dinner? She shakes her head. No, just sit. You'll feel better after you eat. Mom goes into the kitchen to get our meal, and I try to get comfortable on the cushionless seat. The high-backed wood chair creaks loudly with every move. Our house is filled with other people's things. Everything is historic and formal, old and uncomfortable. A second later, Dad walks into the room. I start picking my nails again. My chest tightens as he untucks his shirt and plops down at the head of the table, ready to eat. It's handled. He unfolds his napkin and places it on his lap. The fire will be out soon. No one was in the area. I breathe out, a wave of relief crashing over me. How? You don't get to ask questions. Dad's words are sharp, slicing through me, and I deflate. This never happened. Who fixed this? Why? How can they be sure that no one got hurt? They need to be sure. How did that fire go up so fast? How did snaps that aren't supposed to be flammable start an actual fire? I want answers to all these questions, but I know not to push Dad. Instead, I say, thank you. His brow furrows. Those woods are off limits to everyone, even you. Don't you dare go there again. Dad adjusts his napkin. Now let's not worry your mother with this. I nod. Got it. We're not telling Mom I set the woods on fire. Dad leans back in his chair. What boat does Greenleaf have you in? I blink. Dad just changed the subject. Poof. The woods are fine. Being a hunt is like it comes with magic powers. We make the big problems go away. We make fire disappear. Boat 3, I say. Dad's brows come together, disappointment etched across his face. He never looks at Ford the way he looks at me. Yet again, I'm not good enough. The only way to make him proud is by earning the top spot. I hold my breath and brace myself for the next question. Most people get the charming version of Dad, always entitled, but in a fun way. He's generous when it benefits him. He's the pillar of the community, which means he paid for a lot of the actual pillars and buildings in town. Who does she have in the first boats? Nothing is set. I'm going to move up. I hate how desperate I sound to prove myself to him. Coach has been switching around everyone a lot, putting together the best teams. Understood. He nods. I hope Mom gets back soon. She's a champion at changing the subject without anyone noticing. There's a big regatta this weekend. I sit up a little taller. We'll be ready. That's good, Jack. Dad booms again. Legacy doesn't matter if we don't carry it into the future. I wish Dad would talk to me like I'm his son, a son he could be proud of, and not just his legacy. Although I realize now, after what I did today, that might be too much to ask. I know that. I came in first place in almost every drill and practice. Our team is strong, I say, anger sparking in my chest. My face and my neck heat up. Except for Weatherby. She fell into the lake. She didn't even make it past the warm-up. She's a dud. He needs to know that I'm better than her. Dad doesn't respond. Mom walks back into the dining room holding 2 platters of salad, chicken, potatoes, and corn. I help her with the bigger tray, placing the food carefully on the trivet in front of Dad. He turns to Mom. Bitsy, did you call Miriam? I didn't have a chance, she says softly. I will tomorrow. He pinches the bridge of his nose. Fine. Okay. Somehow I leave every conversation with Dad feeling the exact same way, like I talked too much and he didn't hear anything I had to say. It's quiet for the rest of the meal, except for silverware clattering. After I help Mom clear the table, I go upstairs to shower and change. Then I sit down on my desk and flip through my postcards. All the places I'm planning to visit on my trip around the world. Monaco, Sydney, Villamora, St. Barth's, St. Tropez, Casablanca. Other than postcards and my clothes, my room isn't really mine. My furniture and Ford's furniture belong to our great-grandfather. Our house has been in Dad's family since 1670. It's an original Abbott. A big, historical-looking colonial with rows of windows on all sides. Not big like the new houses they put up across town. The bedrooms are small, like chocolate boxes, connected by long, narrow halls and secret passageways. I try to call Ford, but he doesn't answer. Ever since he went back to boarding school after the regatta, he's too busy to pick up or text back. I've had to deal with Dad all on my own, which I hate. Ford is the only person I can trust with everything. I wander down the hall to Ford's room and sit at his desk, which is the same as mine. I reach out and press on a secret lever just above the top drawer, and a hidden compartment in the middle slides out onto my lap. There are two metal pieces sticking up that are fastened shut with an old puzzle lock. Ford took my lock last year when he went missing. Ford took mine last year when his went missing. I turn 5 small rings with letters on all sides until I spell the name Adams, and a gold clasp releases. Ford doesn't know I sneak into his room and study his drawings almost every night, but he told me where he keeps his maps of Hart Isle and the secret society bunkers along with his society key. That's basically the old brother equivalent of giving me permission to look whenever I want. I start with the map of Hart Isle. Ford is a very talented artist, and I like seeing the island through his eyes. There are 2 sides, the Hunt side and the Boston side. We go to the Hunt side every summer with family. We stay at Kingman Cottage, which is more like a castle overlooking the forest. Ford and I spend the whole vacation searching for hidden beaches and new hiking trails. Our half is completely private and completely unreal. The Boston side is just for students. My family donated that land to the school. I've never been allowed to go there. I won't see it for myself until the actual class trip. From Ford's sketch, I can tell the Boston side is big and beautiful. Inside our family hall, Cabot, there's a giant fort and beds that look like clouds. It feels like I've been waiting my whole life to see the other side. I can't believe my trip is almost here. On Ford's map, right next to Boston side, he circled another area, but there are no drawings inside that section. It's a blank spot, like a secret. I wonder if that has something to do with the Last Heir, the oldest, most important secret society in the world. I'm not supposed to know the Last Heir exists, but I overheard Dad and Ford talking about it right before Ford took his oath. Back then, I asked Ford, and he told me everything he knew at that point. The Last Heir is the ultimate hunt tradition. Every hunt since the dawn of time has taken the society's oath. Heirs run everything. They're powerful, and I want to be that too. I'm in 4th form now, which means any day I could be tapped by the secret society. Then I just have to play their game, beat the gambits, and take the oath. Trust before truth, truth before tradition. And I will be in the Last Heir too. The coolest part about the Last Heir is that they have bunkers all over the world. There are dozens of secret clubhouses tucked away in places you would least expect it. Inside football stadiums, hidden in an overwater bungalow in Bora Bora, in a ski chalet in the Alps. There's even a bunker in Wimbledon. The society key gives you access to all the bunkers for life. Ever since Ford got initiated into the Last Heir, Dad has started to tell him things about our family and the company that he runs that makes non-stick solutions and waterproofing. Ford said that once I get into the Last Heir and take the oath, I'll get to know the details too and be part of more things like he is. I don't get why I can't learn about my own family until I get into a secret society. Those 2 things don't feel like they should be connected. But when I ask Ford, he says that's the way that hunts have always done things. The society is a rite of passage. I can't wait to finally get in, so Ford and I can go back to being a team again. Not good. I hear a loud voice booming behind me. I spin around to see who's standing in the doorway, but no one's there. You need to make this happen for Jack. It's Dad. The blood in my veins runs cold. He's in the hallway just beyond the threshold. I stay very still and try to breathe as little as possible. His heavy footsteps get further away and then close again. He's pacing. My heart thuds in my chest. I'm suddenly afraid Dad is going to notice me. It's only Ford's room at this end of the hall, so Dad probably came here to have this conversation where he thought no one would be listening. There's a precedent with Ford. He went for 2 extra days. It has to be the same for Jack. This matters to me. My boy is going for longer. My boy. Dad's words filled me with hope. I tried to replay them in my mind and memorize the way he sounded just now, because I've never heard Dad call me my boy. He made sure Form got extra time on Hart Isle, and now he's using his power again to make the trip special for me. I'm not interested in any of those excuses, Dad says, and then he's quiet for a minute. Good, much better. His tone lightens. We'll sort out the paperwork tomorrow. Call my office in the morning. Let's make sure everything is finalized by the end of the day. Dad doesn't say goodbye, but I can tell the conversation is over. He got what he wanted. One more thing, Dad says. For a second, the room is silent. I clench my hands. When Dad speaks again, his tone has a razor-sharp edge. I realize my son's unfortunate actions nearly destroyed our agreement, but I think we can use this incident to our benefit. My heart jumps into my throat. What agreement? All right, guys, so there's a little mystery there for you. So we know that Jack was discovering Ford's drawings of Hart Isle, and there's a spot that seems to be blank. There's now a secret society we have a name for, the Last Heir, secret bunkers and some sort of game to play. And finally, we have the mysterious agreement that Jack's dad was talking about over the phone. I want you to think about, what do you think that agreement was? All right, until next time, I'll see you guys at Lunch Bunch. Bye.